Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming at you again with the quick post-fight review vid. Chris Eubank Jr. stops Tom Doran in the fourth round to be a TKO. I mean, what can I say? The fight went the way that I expected, or I predicted, just like along everybody else had predicted. Doran was no match for Eubank, and this is actually one of the most worst mismatches I've ever seen. I mean, Doran had 17-0, whatnot. I think he had 12 KOs coming into the fight. I don't know the exact number, but he was clearly overmatched, and he was clearly untested, given the fact that Eubank was too much. Was obviously a bigger man, much more powerful, and much more faster and technically better than him. And also I would say that Eubank is a little bit tested, given the fact he did lose to Billy Joe Saunders, but he's also actually fought, opponents like Spike O'Sullivan and whatnot, who's a pretty good, decent fighter, and so forth. So, first two rounds, not much action, but I can recall in the first round where Eubank had threw a wild left, and then Doran tried to come in with some, try to capitalize with Eubank coming in with a wild left when he left him off balance. But Eubank was able to slip through those punches and get out of the way. And then after that, he started to showboat, which some of the crowd didn't take kindly to that. But, the one thing about Eubank is that he does have a tendency of throwing wild punches. But when he does swing wildly, he does know how to recover very quickly. And I could give him much credit for that. Second round, not much action. Third round, then not much action early on until Eubank started to turn up the heat and start launching his ferocious assault at Doran with some body punches, breaking him down, which knocked him down for the first time. And the bottom line is that Eubank had did whatever he wanted with the kid. Again, totally outclassed. As I recall, Eubank knocked down Doran 4 times in this fight before the referee actually called off and stopped it, because he was really getting battered, especially in the face. And it's all due to the fact that Eubank is dangerous when it comes to inside fighting with those uppercuts. And the fact that what impressed me most about Eubank throwing uppercuts, he can actually throw them from short distance. From a pretty short distance. So he's very precise with those uppercuts, and that what makes him very dangerous as an inside fighter. But the one thing I would say about Eubank is that he tends to leave himself wide open on most of the cases when he throws his punches. Now, speaking of that, I think it was after the third knockdown where Doran got up. Eubank, for almost 50 seconds or so, just kept his hands down the whole time, toying with Doran, just intimidated him. Whatnot. And Doran, give him some credit. He had some heart. But he just technically wasn't there. It's like his punches were too wide. He was painfully slow when he was throwing his combinations. So that would gave Eubank the opportunity to dodge them. So he could see to dodge them, because he was able to see those punches coming in. So yeah, that's it in the story. All she wrote. Chris Eubank moves on. The big rumor mill is now that him and Gennady Golovkin will be scheduled to fight for this September here in the... I'm not here. I'm not even in the UK. Are scheduled to fight in the UK in September. But that's according to Eddie Hearn. He said that they virtually agreed to the terms. But, it's all up to both sides to, look over the terms and sign on the dotted line, so that's ready to go. So we need confirmation from Tom Loeffler. Of course, we need confirmation from Chris Eubank Sr. So if the fight does get made, hell yeah, I look forward to it. I know some people are going to say, no, Chris Eubank is not tested. He hasn't fought on world level. And I would agree with that. I would agree. But at the same time, he does have some bit of exposure to that, because he did fight Billy Joe Saunders to a very close and tough fight. So, and Billy Joe Saunders is a world champion. Even though he is holding that title hostage in the UK, as I initially stated long ago that he would do, but at least Chris Eubank has some bit of world exposure by fighting him, at least. All right? And all I got to say is Chris Eubank, after this fight with Doran, no more domestic level opposition. He needs to start fighting people on the world level like Danny Jacobs or Peter Quillen. Hopefully Peter Quillen comes back. Who else is in there? Maybe